Attention. Everybody is looking for attention, whether it's from the celebrities that are on stage, seeking the attention of the crowd, or whether it's from the young child that is without a father or without a mother, or if it's the guys that are at school that are trying to get the attention of a young lady. Everywhere we look around, everybody has a desire to be appreciated, to be noticed. And I remember growing up when I was going to school, and I know that many people out there can relate to this experience, that I remember going to school, even myself, putting my hair in a certain style so that young girls would look at me. I remember young ladies that would come to school and try to dress a certain way, act a certain way, and even talk a certain way, change who they really are, just for the sake of someone else giving them that attention. Now I want to ask you the question, if we're living in a world today where we're trying to change who we are so that others accept us, think about this carefully. If we need to change who we are, what we look like, who we really are inside, so that others accept us, are they really accepting us, or are they accepting someone else? Because in order for someone to accept us and to notice us, they need to accept us, notice us, and appreciate us, not for who we might be with some add-ons, but who we are without the add-ons. It saddens me to see today that even God's professed young people, even Christians that profess to have a God in heaven that pays them attention, that they go to the extent to give attention to people like Beyonce. And I use Beyonce because this is a very relative issue, a very relative event, I should say, that occurred here in Brisbane and even in Sydney and here in Australia and in New Zealand. Beyonce just had a concert, and there were many young ladies that were crying out, yay. There were many professed Christians that were screaming for Queen Bee when they should have been looking for the King of Heaven. And God shows us clearly that there are many even young people who believe and they profess that they have a God in heaven that is giving them attention, and yet they will go and look and give their attention to someone else. And I want to bring this out to you today. Not only for the young ladies and the young guys that are dressed in a certain way, putting all the makeup and jewelry and all the things over us to get the attention of others. Not only is the question, are they really accepting you, or are they accepting someone else? Because that's not you. To add on to yourself so someone else will appreciate that, that's not accepting you, that's accepting something added onto you. And I want to ask all those Beyonce fans out there, yea, even the Christians that profess to follow God, and they're giving their attention to this woman. I want to ask you the question. For all the attention that you gave Beyonce while she was here, for all the time you gave to listen to her, I want to ask you the question, how much attention did she give you in return, and how much time did she give you in return? For all the time you gave to listen to her voice, how much time has she given to listen to your voice? For all the time that you gave her your affections, how many times did she turn around and say, hey, Sally, Sarah, Mary, John, whoever? How many times does she ever know your name? Does she ever know your name? The reason why I bring this up is I want to lead us to this point today, is that the Bible has a very real, a very wonderful, powerful picture of a God that gives us attention. A God that wants to give you and I attention. Yea, a God that has been giving us attention before we ever knew it. The Bible tells us in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, David said, put my tears into your bottle. Are they not written in your book? Simple language. God, don't you notice? Matter of fact, I didn't even need to question you, God. You know the times when I'm going through pain. You see my pain. Yea, you have recorded every tear. And my question is again this, for the Beyonce fans, the Queen Bee fans, every time you shed a tear to see her, how many times did she shed a tear to see you? Think about it. Get practical, get real. Because we are living in a society where people are going to such lengths to give their attention to someone who couldn't care less, someone who just wants money, someone who might seem to be moral, someone who might even profess to be a Christian and profess to believe in God. But I want to ask you this question today. For all the attention you and I are giving to ourselves, to those around us, to the guys at school, girls, or to the girls at school for the brothers, for all the attention you and I are giving to others, how much attention do they give you in return? Matter of fact, are they even accepting you And if they do give you attention, are they actually giving attention to you, or are they giving attention to the jewelry and the gold on you? The Bible also tells us, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 10, verse 30, Jesus made it even abundantly clear, and he reminded us when he came down to this earth. He said, even the very hairs on your head are numbered. So young ladies, when you're trying to do your hair in a fashion and the guy doesn't notice you, Jesus notices you. He notices that not only your hair, he notices the amount of hair on your head. What guy knows that? What guy is ever going to be able to give you that kind of attention? Because friends, there is a very, very real desire in our hearts to find out, where can I find this attention? Rather than spending all the money in the world, rather than going to work for 8 hours a day, coming home, going back to work, spending all this money just so we can, for a short hour, 2-hour concert, or a short television, or a short meeting with a celebrity, for all the effort that gets spent, there's someone there who is standing always, saying, I want to give you that attention, regardless of what you look like, regardless of how your hair looks in the morning, regardless of whether you've got something stuck in your eye or in your teeth, regardless of whatever's here. I want to give you that attention that nobody else can give you. And I want to finish on this point. There's a quotation from one of my favorite books. It's called the book Steps to Christ. And in the book Steps to Christ, page 100, it says a powerful quote. It says this. It speaks about this powerful attention that no other man, woman could ever give. It says this: the relations of God between each soul is as distinct and full as if there was not another soul on earth to share his watch care, as if there was not another soul for whom he came to die. And the reason why I bring this up is this: there are many even professed Christians out there that are saying, I believe in God, and yet they spend so much time trying to find the attention of Beyonce, spending so much time wanting to give your attention to a celebrity that couldn't care less about you. Yay, they don't even know your name. So I'm bringing this out today, that quote just said that God's relation between you and him is as full and distinct. That is to say, he is so consumed in you in such a way that he, catch this, don't miss this, God knows how to have undivided attention in a divided way. Don't ask me how, I don't know how. But all I know is that he does. And the reason why I bring this up is because this world we live in, why are we going to go spend so much money to go spend money on jewelry, money on all these things, to try to get someone to accept that on us, when in reality they're not accepting us. They're accepting things on you, not who you are. But we are hearing today that God says in his word, that David said that God is not only there for us when we're down. He doesn't only count our tears. He doesn't just only count the times when we're crying. God says even the very hairs on your head are numbered. God is trying to say that I just don't pay undivided attention. I pay undivided attention in such a way that I notice all the things that nobody else notices. When you're down in your dumps, when you've got no food in your cupboard, when you've got no money in the bank, when you might have lost your job. Where are those celebrities now? Are they going to pull money out of their pocket and give it to you? Are they going to pull out their ears and listen to your cry? Are they going to even bother what your hair looks like? Do they even know? Do they even know your name? No. But there is a God that says, I know your name. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1. And I'll ask you these two questions today. If you're one of those young ladies that is trying to dress up in such a way so that a guy will sleep with you in the club, from the club, in some room. Or if you're one of these people that is trying to change your hairstyle and do all these things in such a way so that people accept you, I want to ask you this very real question. Are they accepting you for who you are? Really? Because if they're accepting you for who you are, then why do you need to add that stuff to you? And secondly, if you're a professed Christian, I want you to ask you the question too. For all the time, effort, affection you gave what you guys might call Queen Bee, how much did she give you in return? And not only how much did she give you in return, For all the times that you have never even given Jesus your affection, Jesus gave you undivided attention, even though you had divided attention. Friends, that is a God of love. And I want to let you know today that there's hope. I started this message by saying that we live in a world where people are seeking attention. They want undivided attention. I'll be honest. We're all honest. A married couple, if you're married, you want undivided attention from your wife or your husband, vice versa. You want that. Young ladies, you want that too. Young brothers, you want that too. The fatherless, the motherless, the widows, those that are looking for attention. I want to give you this hope today. Don't ask me how, because I don't know how. All I know is that He does. All I know is this. God wants to give you, wants you to realize, that He wants to give you His undivided attention in a divided way. I don't know how, but I know He does. And if you're one of these people that is seeking for that attention from the celebrities, seeking that attention, young ladies, from the hot guy at school, or the young guys that are seeking the attention of the young lady at school, there's nothing wrong with relationships, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being in a relationship or in a marriage. But the point is this, at the end of the day, just know that those that might just look at the external appearance, there is one God in heaven that looks on your heart. As David said, He notices you when you're down, when you're crying, when you're in tears, when you got no money. He not only notices that, but He notices the very hairs on your head. And He wants to come into your life today. My invitation is accept Him, for He's always been there, and He'll always be there for you. Amen.